What if living a long, pain-free life didn't require doctors, diets, or dumbbells, just old-school wisdom passed down through generations? The Amish have quietly mastered this, staying active and healthy well into their 80s and 90s. No gym, no pills, just real food, purpose, and daily movement. Their simple secrets might change how you age. Walk into any modern gym and you'll see rows of treadmills, fancy weight machines, and people staring at screens while they sweat. But here's something that might shock you. Some of the fittest older adults in America have never stepped foot in a gym. They don't own fitness trackers, they've never heard of CrossFit, and they certainly don't count macros. The Amish have cracked a code that the fitness industry doesn't want you to know about. While we're debating whether to do cardio or strength training, they're out there living proof that the best workout isn't a workout at all. Every morning before most people hit the snooze button, Amish men and women are already moving. Not because they have to catch a spinning class, but because the animals need feeding, the garden needs tending, and the wood won't chop itself. Their fitness routine starts with sunrise and doesn't end until sunset. Research from the University of Tennessee tracked Amish men over 60 and found something remarkable. These guys were walking more than 15,000 steps every single day. That's roughly 7 miles of walking, and they weren't even trying. No step counters, no fitness goals, just life happening naturally. But it's not just walking. When you're splitting firewood for winter heating, you're doing what gym goers call functional strength training. When you're lifting hay bales, you're hitting muscles that fancy machines can't touch. When you're bent over weeding a garden for hours, you're working on flexibility and core strength without even knowing it. The beauty is in the variety. One day might involve heavy lifting while building a barn. The next day could be spent bent over, harvesting vegetables. Then there's the walking between fields, the carrying of water buckets, the endless small movements that add up to something powerful. Most people pay good money for a gym membership to lift heavy things and put them back down. The Amish just call that Tuesday morning chores, and they get fresh eggs as a bonus. What's fascinating is how this constant movement affects their bodies differently than gym workouts. Gym exercises tend to be repetitive and focused on specific muscle groups, but Amish daily work involves compound movements that engage multiple muscles at once, just like our bodies were designed to move. Their work also happens outside, which means they're getting natural vitamin D from sunlight while they move. They're breathing fresh air instead of recycled gym air, and they're moving with purpose, which engages the mind differently than mindless treadmill walking. But here's the real kicker. They're not trying to get fit. Fitness is just a happy accident of living the way they do. While we stress about finding time to exercise, they've built exercise into every hour of their lives. While we worry about motivation to hit the gym, their motivation is survival and taking care of their families. Their bodies stay strong and flexible well into their 80s and 90s, not because they followed some complicated fitness program, but because they never stop moving in ways that matter. No personal trainers needed, no expensive equipment required, just honest work that serves a purpose beyond looking good in a mirror. And all that daily movement works up quite an appetite, which brings us to how they fuel those active bodies. Here's a wild fact that'll make you rethink everything. The average Amish person eats more calories per day than most Americans, yet they weigh significantly less and live longer. How is that even possible? The answer isn't in some fancy diet plan or counting anything. It's in something much simpler that we've completely forgotten how to do. When an Amish family sits down to eat, there's no takeout containers, no processed snacks, and definitely no apps being open to order dinner. Every single meal is made from scratch, using ingredients they either grew themselves or bought from someone they know personally. Their kitchens don't have microwave dinners or boxes of sugary cereal. Instead, you'll find fresh vegetables from the garden, meat from animals they raised, milk from their own cows, and bread baked that morning. The closest thing to fast food is grabbing an apple straight from the tree. But here's where it gets interesting. They don't eat small portions or worry about calories. An Amish breakfast might include fresh eggs, thick slices of homemade bread, butter they churn themselves, jam made from their own berries, and milk so fresh it's still warm. That's easily 800 calories before most people even wake up. The secret isn't in eating less. It's in eating real food that actually fills you up and gives your body what it needs to work properly. When you eat an apple instead of apple-flavored candy, your body knows what to do with it. When you drink fresh milk instead of something with 47 ingredients you can't pronounce, your system doesn't get confused. Their meals also happen at the same time every day, around the same table, with the same people. No eating while driving, no grabbing snacks while watching screens, no mindless munching throughout the day. When it's mealtime, they sit down, say grace, and actually pay attention to what they're eating. Their grocery shopping is basically walking to the chicken coop and asking the hens what's for breakfast. The hens usually have strong opinions about it too. The timing matters too. They eat their biggest meal at midday when they're most active and need the energy. By evening, they're winding down, so dinner is lighter. This natural rhythm matches how our bodies actually want to process food instead of fighting against it. What's really fascinating is how their food connects to the seasons. In summer, they eat fresh tomatoes, corn, and berries. In winter, they rely on preserved foods, root vegetables, and heartier meals. Their bodies naturally adjust to what's available, creating a varied diet that changes throughout the year. They also eat together, which changes everything about how food affects you. Shared meals mean conversation, laughter, and taking time to actually taste what you're eating. When you're talking and enjoying company, you eat slower, chew better, and feel satisfied with less. No calorie counting, no guilt, no complicated rules. Just real food, shared with people they care about, eaten when their bodies actually need fuel. But even the best fuel won't help if your body can't recover from daily wear and tear properly. The only product we'll ever promote on our channel is a book by Claude Davis, a veteran prepper, about 126 superfoods and preservation methods from crisis times like the Great Depression and wartime that are impossible to find elsewhere. We decided to promote his book because we are the last generation able to share these techniques and superfoods to our children or grandchildren. It would be a shame to see this information about highly nutritious foods and preservation methods to survive crises disappear. You can also find a book about herbal remedies from Nicole Apelian on their store. If you're watching this on TV, you can look up our channel, Frugal Solutions, on your phone or tablet and find the books by clicking the link in our channel description or any other video description. Most people feel a twinge in their back and immediately reach for a pill bottle. The Amish do something completely different that might sound crazy at first, but the results speak for themselves. Pain doesn't send them running to the doctor's office or scrolling through medical websites at midnight. Instead, they stop what they're doing and actually listen to what their body is trying to tell them. When your back hurts after lifting hay bales all morning, maybe you need to adjust how you're lifting. When your shoulders ache from hunching over garden rows, maybe it's time to take a break and stretch. This approach comes from generations of people who had to figure out their own bodies without fancy medical equipment or prescription medications for every ache. They learned that pain usually has a message, and covering up that message doesn't fix the actual problem. When an Amish elder feels soreness creeping in, they don't panic or assume the worst. They might soak in a hot bath with herbs from their garden or ask their spouse to rub some homemade salve on the tender spot. They use things like comfrey leaves for bruises, plantain for cuts, and willow bark tea for headaches. These aren't miracle cures, but gentle remedies that help the body heal itself. Their medicine cabinet is basically their backyard, and the plants there have better reviews than most prescription drugs. Plus, the side effects are usually just fresher air and a little dirt under the fingernails. The key difference is time. They give their bodies permission to rest and recover instead of pushing through everything with artificial energy from caffeine and pain pills. If something hurts, they might slow down for a day or two, do lighter work, and let the healing happen naturally. They also understand the difference between serious pain that needs medical attention and the everyday aches that come from physical work. A sharp, sudden pain that doesn't go away gets proper medical care. But the general soreness from a day of hard work gets treated with rest, gentle movement, and natural remedies. What's remarkable is how well they know their own bodies. They can tell the difference between good tired and bad tired, between muscle soreness and something more serious. This body awareness comes from paying attention instead of numbing everything out. They also use heat and cold in smart ways. A warm compress on stiff joints in the morning, cold water on swollen hands after a long day of work. They understand that both heat and cold can be medicine when used at the right time. Movement is another part of their pain management. Instead of lying still when something hurts, they often do gentle movements to keep things loose. A short walk for a sore back, arm circles for tight shoulders, or simple stretches that keep their bodies flexible. Their pain tolerance is also different because they expect some discomfort as part of normal life. Hard work comes with aches and pains, and that's not seen as something terrible that needs to be eliminated immediately. It's just part of being human and using your body the way it was designed. This practical approach to pain has kept them moving well into their 80s and 90s, but their daily environment plays a big role in keeping their bodies strong too. Forget everything you know about comfortable seating. The Amish have been sitting on what most people would call torture devices, and their spines are thanking them for it. Walk into any Amish home and you won't find a single recliner, cushy sofa, or ergonomic office chair. What you will find are straight-backed wooden chairs that look like they were designed by someone who never heard the word comfort. And that's exactly the point. These aren't chairs you sink into for hours of television watching. They're chairs that keep you upright, alert, and ready to get back to work. The hardwood doesn't let you slouch or lean sideways. Your feet stay flat on the floor, your back stays straight, and your core muscles actually have to work to keep you sitting properly. Modern furniture designers spend millions trying to create chairs that support every curve of your body, but the Amish figured out something different. When your chair does all the work of holding you up, your muscles get lazy. When your chair makes you work a little bit, your muscles stay strong. Their chairs are so firm, sitting down sounds like applause. But at least nobody falls asleep during family meetings. The science behind this is actually pretty solid. Orthopedic specialists have found that soft, supportive chairs can weaken the small muscles around your spine over time. These muscles are supposed to work constantly to keep you upright, but when your chair does that job instead, they basically go on vacation. Amish elders who have been sitting on hard wooden chairs their whole lives tend to have much better posture than people who grew up with cushioned furniture. Their core muscles stay engaged, their spines maintain their natural curves, and they don't develop the forward head posture that comes from slouching in soft chairs. But it's not just about the hardness of the seat. These chairs are also built to the right height and depth. Your thighs rest parallel to the floor, your feet touch the ground without dangling, and there's no deep seat that encourages you to slide backward and round your shoulders. The Amish also don't spend endless hours sitting in the same position. Their wooden chairs remind them to get up and move around regularly. When sitting becomes slightly uncomfortable after an hour or two, that's your body's signal that it's time to stand up, stretch, and do something else. This simple approach to seating has helped keep their backs strong and flexible well into old age. Combined with their active lifestyle, these basic wooden chairs play a surprising role in their overall physical health. Their approach to rest and recovery extends far beyond just furniture choices, though. When the sun goes down in Amish country, something magical happens that most of the world has completely forgotten about. No artificial lights suddenly blazing to life, no screens flickering on, no late-night entertainment keeping anyone awake. Just darkness, quiet, and the most natural sleep cycle you can imagine. The Amish treat sleep the way our ancestors did for thousands of years. When it gets dark outside, it gets dark inside too. Their bodies start producing melatonin naturally because they're not fighting against bright lights that trick their brains into thinking it's still daytime. Most Amish families are in bed by 9 p.m. and awake by 5 a.m. That's a solid 8 hours of sleep, which happens to be exactly what sleep researchers say adults need for optimal health. But they didn't learn this from any study or sleep expert. They just follow the rhythm that nature set up millions of years ago. Their bedrooms are completely dark. No digital clocks glowing red numbers, no phone chargers blinking little lights, no street lamps shining through windows. When your room is truly dark, your brain produces more of the hormones that help you sleep deeply and wake up refreshed. The physical work they do all day also sets them up for better sleep. When you've been moving your body for 12 hours, chopping wood, lifting hay, and walking miles, your body is genuinely tired and ready to rest. Not the fake tired that comes from staring at screens all day, but the deep, satisfying tiredness that comes from real physical work. Their alarm clock is usually a rooster who takes his job very seriously, never hits the snooze button, and apparently thinks everyone should be as excited about 5 a.m. as he is. They also don't eat heavy meals late at night. Dinner happens while there's still daylight, giving their bodies plenty of time to digest before sleep. No midnight snacking, no late-night coffee, no food keeping their systems working when they should be resting. The temperature in their homes drops naturally as the sun goes down, which also helps with sleep. Our bodies are designed to sleep better when it's slightly cool, and without electric heating systems running all night, Amish bedrooms stay at the perfect temperature for deep rest. Their stress levels are also much lower by bedtime. They don't spend the evening watching news that makes them anxious or scrolling through social media that makes them compare their lives to others. Their minds are calm and ready for rest. This natural approach to sleep gives them the deep, restorative rest that keeps their bodies healthy and their minds sharp well into old age. But staying physically strong requires more than just good sleep. While fitness experts debate the best exercises for seniors, Amish elders have been doing something that beats any gym routine. They've turned their backyards into the ultimate fitness center, and they don't even realize they're working out. An 85-year-old Amish grandmother spends her morning bent over tomato plants, pulling weeds that decided to crash the vegetable party overnight. She's doing what physical therapists call functional movement training. Squatting down to reach low plants works her leg muscles and keeps her joints flexible. Reaching across garden rows stretches her back and shoulders. Carrying watering cans builds strength in her arms and core. The beauty of garden work is that it hits every major muscle group without feeling like exercise. Digging holes for new plants is basically doing squats with a shovel. Hauling wheelbarrows full of soil is functional strength training that actually serves a purpose. Raking leaves is cardio that produces a tidy yard instead of just burning calories on a machine going nowhere. But the real magic happens because gardening forces you to move in ways that normal exercise never does. You're constantly changing positions, bending different directions, using muscles you forgot you had. 1 minute you're kneeling to plant seeds, the next you're standing and stretching to tie up bean vines, then you're walking around checking for pests. Gardening is the only workout where the equipment fights back, the weights keep growing heavier, and sometimes the squash wins the argument about who's really in charge of the garden. The sunshine exposure while gardening also does something pills can't. Natural sunlight helps your body make vitamin D, which keeps bones strong and boosts mood. Many Amish elders get more vitamin D from their daily garden time than most people get in a week. Even the mental benefits are incredible. Gardening requires planning, problem solving, and patience. Deciding what to plant where, figuring out why the cucumbers aren't growing, dealing with unexpected weather changes. It keeps their minds sharp while their bodies stay active. The seasonal nature of garden work also means the exercise changes throughout the year. Spring brings heavy digging and planting. Summer means daily watering and harvesting. Fall involves clearing out old plants and preparing beds for winter. Each season works the body differently, preventing the repetitive stress that comes from doing the same workout year-round. Most Amish elders keep at least a small garden patch well into their 90s, not because someone told them gardening was good exercise, but because they enjoy fresh vegetables and the satisfaction of growing their own food. This connection between meaningful work and physical fitness extends to every aspect of how they approach aging. The concept of retirement simply doesn't exist in Amish communities, and that might be one of their biggest secrets to staying healthy and happy well into their 90s. When most people hit 65, they stop working completely and wonder why they suddenly feel useless and depressed. The Amish take a completely different approach that keeps their minds sharp and their bodies moving for decades longer. An Amish man in his 70s doesn't wake up one morning and decide he's done contributing to his family and community. Instead, he gradually shifts what kind of work he does. Maybe he stops doing the heavy farm work but takes over managing the finances. Maybe he can't lift hay bales anymore but becomes the go-to person for teaching young men how to build barns properly. This gradual transition keeps them feeling valuable and needed. Research shows that people who maintain a sense of purpose live significantly longer than those who feel like they have nothing important to contribute. The Amish figured this out without reading any studies about it. Their elders become the keepers of knowledge. They're the ones who remember how to fix things that break, who know which fields grow the best corn, who can predict weather patterns better than any forecast. Young people seek them out for advice, which keeps the older generation feeling important and engaged. Even when their bodies slow down, they find new ways to help. An elderly woman might not be able to can vegetables for hours anymore, but she can teach her granddaughters the family recipes. A man who can't swing a hammer all day might become the quality inspector, making sure the younger workers are doing things right. Retirement planning for the Amish basically means figuring out which rocking chair has the best view of everyone else still working. The mental stimulation of staying involved prevents the cognitive decline that often comes with traditional retirement. When you stop learning new things and solving problems, your brain starts to slow down. But when you're still needed, still contributing, still teaching others, your mind stays active and engaged. Their communities also value the wisdom that comes with age. Gray hair means experience, and experience is respected. Older members aren't pushed aside or forgotten. They're consulted on important decisions, and their opinions carry weight. This approach to aging keeps them connected to their families and communities in ways that isolation and traditional retirement simply can't match. The strong family bonds that support this system create an environment where growing older feels natural and supported. Loneliness kills people faster than smoking, but you'll never find an isolated Amish elder wondering if anyone cares whether they're alive or dead. In most modern families, when grandparents get older, they get moved to assisted living facilities or nursing homes where strangers take care of them. The Amish do the exact opposite, and the health benefits are incredible. Amish elders live either in the same house as their adult children or in a smaller house right next door called a grandfather house. They're not visitors in their families' lives. They're part of the daily routine, the decision-making, and all the chaos that comes with a busy household. When a grandmother wakes up in the morning, she doesn't spend the day alone watching television or waiting for someone to call. She's helping prepare breakfast, watching the grandchildren, giving advice about family problems, and staying involved in everything that matters. Her hands might be slower now, but they're still useful. Her voice might be softer, but her words carry weight earned through decades of experience. Medical research has proven that social isolation increases inflammation in the body, weakens the immune system, and raises the risk of heart disease. But when you're surrounded by family who needs you and values your presence, your body stays healthier longer. The stress hormones that damage aging bodies simply don't have a chance to build up when you're busy being useful and loved. The Amish version of social media is sitting on the front porch and watching all the neighbors walk by. The engagement rate is much higher and nobody gets unfriended. Amish elders also play active roles in raising their grandchildren. They're not weekend visitors who show up with gifts and leave. They're daily teachers, storytellers, and examples of how to live. This gives them purpose and keeps them mentally engaged with the next generation. When a grandchild struggles with a problem, it's often grandpa or grandma who has the patience to listen and the wisdom to guide without judging. The constant social interaction also means problems get noticed early. If grandmother seems confused one morning or grandfather is moving slower than usual, family members see it right away. They don't wait for a crisis to happen before getting help. This early detection prevents small issues from becoming major health emergencies. Studies show that older adults who live with family have better cognitive function, lower rates of depression, and live longer than those who live alone. The Amish created this naturally without needing any research to tell them it was beneficial. Their family structure evolved this way because it simply worked better for everyone involved. Their communities also treat age as wisdom rather than burden. Gray hair means experience, and experience gets respected. Older members aren't pushed aside when important decisions need to be made. Their opinions matter, their knowledge is valued, and their presence is wanted. This approach to family creates a safety net that doesn't just catch people when they fall, but prevents many of the problems that cause people to fall in the first place. The healing power that comes from being truly connected to family pairs perfectly with their approach to natural remedies. Every meal in an Amish home doubles as preventive medicine, but they didn't learn this from any doctor or health guru. They learned it from grandmothers who understood that food could heal long before anyone invented vitamin supplements. Open an Amish pantry and you'll find the same ingredients their great-grandmothers used to fight off illness. Raw honey for sore throats and cuts. Apple cider vinegar for digestion and joint pain. Garlic and onions and everything because they boost immunity and fight infection. These aren't trendy superfoods to them, just regular ingredients that happen to keep people healthy. Every jar, every dried herb, every preserved vegetable tells a story of seasons past and health maintained through simple wisdom. Their cooking methods also preserve more nutrients than modern food processing. They ferment cabbage into sauerkraut, which creates beneficial bacteria for gut health. They preserve vegetables in natural ways that maintain vitamins instead of destroying them. They use the whole animal when butchering, including nutrient-rich organ meats that most people won't touch anymore. Nothing gets wasted, and everything serves a purpose in maintaining the family's health. Elderberry syrup gets made every fall, not because someone read about its antiviral properties online, but because generations of Amish mothers watched it help their families fight off winter colds. Herbal teas made from plants they grow themselves treat everything from headaches to stomach upset. The knowledge of which plants to pick, when to harvest them, and how to prepare them gets passed down like precious family recipes. Their spice rack could probably cure more ailments than most modern medicine cabinets, and it definitely doesn't come with side effects that include sudden urges to go gambling or growing extra toes. The difference is trust and knowledge passed down through families. When an Amish grandmother gives you ginger tea for nausea, she's not guessing. She learned from her mother, who learned from her mother, creating a chain of proven remedies that goes back generations. This isn't alternative medicine to them. It's just medicine that happens to grow in their backyard. They also understand timing and dosage in ways that commercial supplements can't replicate. Fresh garlic works differently than garlic powder. Honey harvested at different times of year has different healing properties. Herbs picked at the right season and dried properly maintain their effectiveness. The connection between the soil, the season, and the healing power of plants is knowledge that can't be bought in any store. Modern science is finally catching up to what Amish kitchens have known for centuries. Research now proves that many traditional remedies actually work. Honey does help wounds heal faster. Ginger does settle upset stomachs. Elderberry does boost immune function. But the Amish approach goes beyond just individual ingredients. They eat these healing foods regularly as part of their normal diet, not just when they're sick. This creates a foundation of health that prevents many problems from starting. Their medicine comes from the soil they tend, prepared by hands they trust, using methods that have been tested by time rather than laboratories. This practical approach to healing through food creates a foundation for the positive outlook that keeps them healthy and happy. Laughter might be the most underrated medicine in the world, and the Amish have been prescribing it to themselves for generations without even realizing they were doing therapy. Medical researchers have discovered that laughing actually releases endorphins, reduces stress hormones, and boosts immune function. But the Amish didn't need scientists to tell them that a good chuckle makes everything hurt a little less. They just knew that life is too short to take every ache and pain too seriously. Amish humor tends to be gentle and self-deprecating. They laugh at their own mistakes, their creaky joints, and the daily struggles that come with getting older. When an elderly man drops his hammer for the third time in one morning, he doesn't get frustrated. He jokes about his fingers getting as slippery as his memory. Their humor often revolves around the realities of aging and farm life, stories about stubborn animals, unpredictable weather, and bodies that don't work quite like they used to. But the jokes aren't mean-spirited or bitter. They're the kind of gentle teasing that helps people accept life's challenges with grace. The Amish have mastered the art of complaining about their aches and pains in such a funny way that everyone ends up laughing instead of feeling sorry for them. Community gatherings often include storytelling where elders share funny mishaps from their younger days or amusing observations about modern life. These shared laughs create bonds between generations and help everyone realize that struggling with life's challenges is universal and normal. The social aspect of their humor is just as important as the physical benefits. When people laugh together, they feel connected and supported. Research shows that social laughter triggers the release of bonding hormones that strengthen relationships and reduce feelings of isolation. Their approach to humor also helps them maintain perspective during difficult times. Instead of catastrophizing every health problem or focusing only on what's going wrong, they find ways to see the lighter side of their situations. This doesn't mean they ignore serious issues, but they don't let minor problems overwhelm them either. The timing of their humor matters too. They don't make jokes when someone is genuinely suffering or going through a crisis. But for the everyday complaints that come with aging, a little laughter helps everyone cope better than constant worry or sympathy. Studies have shown that people who maintain their sense of humor as they age have better mental health, stronger immune systems, and even live longer than those who become bitter or overly serious. The Amish seem to have figured this out naturally through generations of finding joy even when life gets tough. This positive outlook on life's challenges reflects a deeper wisdom about what really matters when you've lived long enough to gain perspective. The Amish live with purpose, move with meaning, and let nature lead the way. Their days are simple, their remedies natural, and their laughter real. It's not magic or modern science, just timeless wisdom that works. Maybe the true secret to a long, pain-free life is living the way we were meant to.